Hello everyone, and welcome to our Excel VBA tutorial series. I'm Jonas, and in today's video, we are going to delve into the fundamentals of VBA programming by understanding variables and data types. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what a variable is. In simple terms, a variable is like a storage box where you can keep different kinds of data, such as numbers or text. Variables allow you to store, manipulate, and retrieve data in your VBA code, making your macros more dynamic and powerful. Now, before we dive into creating a variable, let's make sure we have the VBA editor open and are ready to code. Quick reminder for those who might need it: to open the VBA editor, press Alt plus F11 while you are in Excel. This will bring up the editor where you can write and manage your VBA code. If you don't have a module inserted already, you'll need one to write your code in. To insert a module, simply right-click on VBA Project in the Project Explorer, choose Insert, and then click on Module. Great! Now that we have the VBA editor open and a module inserted, let's learn how to create a variable. In VBA, we use the dim statement to declare a variable. For example, this line of code creates a variable named myNumber that can store integers. Data types are crucial. They define the kind of data a variable can hold. In our example, myNumber can hold integer values. Other common data types are string for text, double for numbers with decimals, and Boolean for true or false values. Once you have a variable, you need to store data in it. You can assign a value to a variable using the equals sign, like this. myNumber equals 5. This stores the number 5 in the myNumber variable. Let's put this all together with an example. We'll create a macro that calculates the sum of two numbers. CalculateSum. Dim number 1 as double. Dim number 2 as double. Dim sum as double. Number 1 equals 10.5. Number 2 equals 20.3. Sum equals number 1 plus number 2. Range A1 dot value equals sum. N sub. This macro declares three variables, assigns values to two of them, adds them together, and puts the result in cell A1. Now let's break down what each line does. First up, we have CalculateSum. Think of this as the grand opening. We're telling Excel, hey, we're about to lay down a cool new macro and we're calling it CalculateSum. Everything that comes after this and before N sub is part of the magic show. Next, we've got dim number 1 as double. This is like saying, I need a space in my memory to keep a number with decimals, and I'm going to call it number 1. Moving right along, dim number 2 as double is doing the same thing as before, but for a different number. We're just setting up the stage here, folks. Then there's dim sum as double. You guessed it, another space for a decimal number. We'll use this one to store the grand total of number 1 and number 2. Now let's put some numbers in the mix. Number 1 equals 10.5 is like slipping a 10.5 into number 1's pocket, and number 2 equals 20.3 does the same for number 2. Here comes the magic. Sum equals number 1 plus number 2. We just added number 1 and number 2 and stored the result in sum. Now what good is magic if you don't share it? Range A1 dot value equals sum takes our magical sum and makes it appear in cell A1. And with N sub, we close the curtains on our magic show. That's our macro wrapped up and ready to dazzle. Understanding what each line of the code does is crucial for learning VBA. It helps you see the logic behind the macro and how it operates step by step. And that's how you work with variables and data types in Excel VBA. Experiment with creating your own variables and try different data types. In our next video, we'll look at how to make your macros interact with the user. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Happy coding!